Alisa Klein is the Executive Director of Grow Food Northampton, Massachusetts. She manages and stewards access to farmland through Grow Food Northampton and provides healthy food in the community to create what they call a local food system in Hampshire County, Massachusetts. The organization offers 320 organic community garden plots on a total of 6 acres to provide gardening space to 400 community members. Grow Food Northampton also leases prime farmland and provides infrastructure and resources to 10 small farms on the 121-acre Grow Food Northampton community farm. They manage year-long weekly farmers markets to connect local farms directly with consumers. They run a free mobile farmers market that weekly delivers fresh local produce and other quality ingredients to hundreds of individuals and families grappling with foods insecurity and hunger. They operate a giving garden that grows and donates thousands of pounds of organic produce annually to local food pantries and community meal sites, and conducts collaborative research projects with academics and others on sustainable climate resilience enhancing agricultural practices. On the community farm, Grow Food Northampton leases land to farmers who have traditionally been denied access to farmland, including refugees from war-torn places like Somalia, women farmers, and others. In addition to its farm-based community garden, GFN has also established community gardens at 9 public housing communities to enable low-income families to have access to green space and to grow their own food. Working together with local business sponsors, Grow Food Northampton also doubles the purchasing power of local low-income individuals so they can afford more healthy, locally grown foods at GFN's farmers markets. The organization also collaborates with the local school system to deliver hands-on education about nutrition, cooking with locally grown food, and gardening to students in K through 12 grades, while also offering workshops to adults on a variety of local food system-related topics. Ms. Klein is also a longtime activist and community organizer working on issues as diverse but interconnected as the climate emergency, peace and justice in Palestine and Israel, and she has been deeply involved in bringing restorative and transformative justice models to addressing harm in communities. Between 2014 and 2020, Alisa served as a Northampton, Massachusetts City Councilor, where she established the Select Committee on Pesticide Reduction and wrote and sponsored town legislation to prohibit the use of pesticides in municipal spaces. She has a bachelor's degree from Smith College and a master's degree in international policy from the Middlebury Institute of International Studies at Monterey. Please join me in welcoming Alisa Klein.
Thank you so much. That was such an incredible introduction. I really appreciate it. And thank you, District 53, for welcoming me. People have been incredibly kind. Thank you so much. I'm going to tell you about the organization that I work for. We call ourselves a local food justice organization. But when I was talking to the communications manager at my organization, she said, to tell a really good story, you have to have a villain, and then you have to talk about overcoming that villain. So it made me think about how to kind of frame how I talk about the organization in new ways. So let me see if I get this clicker right. Must have gone the wrong way. Okay. So in this case, we're going to talk about the villain as what we call industrial agriculture, or also called big ag or agribusiness. So So agribusiness is responsible, yes, you can boo if you'd like to. Industrial agriculture has wiped out 70% of the terrestrial life in farmland. So that means insects, wildlife, everything living in the soil. It's caused 80% of deforestation worldwide, and it's resulted in the loss of farmland due to erosion. It also consumes 70% of the fresh water resources in the world, and the fertilizers and the other chemicals that are used in Vega Ag cause runoff, and they've really destroyed water sources globally. So agribusiness is responsible for an enormous amount, a full third of the carbon emissions that pollute our world and are causing climate change. And the human health consequences of industrial agriculture are enormous, over 1 trillion annually, and that's because of pesticide toxicity, water and air pollution, farm workers getting sick. So this is all to illustrate for you the reason that we need what we call a just local food system as an alternative to massive monocropping-based agriculture. Monocropping being the practice of planting one kind of crop for miles and miles and miles, and that's what you see across mainly the Midwest. And the last thing I'll talk about in terms of injustice is that there is still an enormous amount of food insecurity and hunger in this country. So 10% of white households experience food insecurity in this country. And you can see the racial disparity because 24% of black families, black households experience food insecurity. And almost 50% of indigenous households experience food insecurity. So you can see that there's a real racial disparity in who experiences hunger in our country. So an alternative to that is a local food system, and we are building a just and resilient local food and farming system that nourishes our community, but also that protects and enriches the earth, that prevents climate change and climate disruption. Basically, food justice is about making sure that everyone, no matter what their income level, what their background, has access to fresh, nutrient-dense, local food that is grown within a 50-mile radius of where they live, because studies show that that is the food that is most nutritious and prevents disease, that makes people healthy. We have 3 core components to our work, and those are land access and stewardship, and I'll explain each of these briefly, food access, and community education. So I'll talk first about our land access and stewardship. Andrew, in his introduction, shared a lot of this already, but I'll reiterate some of it. This is our community farm. We have 121 acres. We purchased the last 2 parcels of farmland in Northampton that were up for sale in 2010. And that was a community effort of people crowdsourcing funding because Northampton knew that we couldn't lose more farmland. One little-known fact is in Massachusetts, and I would imagine in Connecticut it's similar, and maybe in New York as well, we've lost 75% of the farmland in the state of Massachusetts since the 1940s. So we're losing our ability to grow food for ourselves. This is an aerial view of our community garden. We have 325 plots in the community garden so people can grow their own food for their families, for their neighbors. We have the giving garden that Andrew talked about, which we actually produce. We grow about 9,000 pounds of food every year that we donate to community kitchens and to food pantries. It's a very vibrant place. 9 small farms this year lease land, and we prioritize farmers who have been marginalized by the food system, so mainly farmers of color. And they lease land on a sliding scale fee from $0 to market rates, depending on what they are able to pay. And I'll just show you some images. These are the 9 farms. Go through them very quickly. Very diversified farms growing all kinds of different things for our community. These are images from the community garden that I mentioned. That's an aerial view of the community farm. This is our giving garden that we've talked about a couple times already, where we grow food for the community. And this is actually an illustration. I love this picture because it shows what happens to that food that we grow for the community, this organic produce. It ends up being turned into meals for people who are hungry, who are unhoused in our community. We also run year-round farmers markets, and I like to say to people, a lot of people think that farmers markets are kind of bougie and expensive, and you know, the average guy can't afford to shop at them. We're very proud that 27% of what we raise at the farmers markets is actually people who are on SNAP, what used to be called food stamps. So we do what we call SNAP matching. We double their ability to spend their SNAP dollars on the vegetables and other farm goods that they buy at the farmers markets. Just some images from the farmers markets. They're a little bit diluted on the big screen, unfortunately. We also have a food access program that is called our Free Mobile Farmers Markets. We have in the last 4 years purchased over 1 million pounds of fresh local farm food from 65 plus farms within a 50-mile radius of Northampton. We've distributed it to over 3,200 unique individuals and over 1,000 families. So these are people who really don't have enough to eat. And even if they have enough to eat, it may be stuff that they have to buy at the 7-Eleven because they don't have access to a supermarket. So we are supplementing their diet with really nutrient-rich, healthy produce that is grown locally. And these are just images. Every week we distribute throughout the whole year, so even in the snow. And one thing that we believe in at my organization is that we want to shift power and leadership to the people who are most affected by food insecurity. So we have a food access advisory committee of people who participate in our programs. We also have a role called food ambassador, also people who are food insecure who participate in the programs. They all design and help us implement all of our programming, all of our food access programming. And we do activities that go with the food. So we don't just kind of plop the food down and walk away. We are very engaged with our community. So we have activities year-round, cooking classes, nutrition classes, diabetes management classes, chef demonstrations, taste tests. We've created a very vibrant community for people who have been marginalized by society in a lot of ways, that don't have a lot of money, that don't have access to food. These are some of the events that we've held over the last couple of years. And the last thing that I'll tell you about, well actually the almost last thing, is Andrew mentioned this, we've actually created community gardens on site at low-income housing communities so people can learn to grow food for themselves. So they can make decisions about what they want to eat and how to grow it in their own community gardens. So we've created these at 9 sites. This season we're creating 2 more, so there will be 11 different community gardens at low-income housing. These are just some images from that. And whole families, it's really sweet. In the family properties, the low-income housing with families, the whole family's out there, 3 generations sometimes. You know, grandma's helping a kid learn how to garden. And we, of course, supply all of the tools, all of the soil amendments, all of the all of the seedlings that they plant so that people have access to growing what they want to grow. A few more images. And the last thing that we do is our community education program for all age learners. We have a relationship with the public school system so that every single student in our elementary schools comes onto our community farm, has hands-on education 3 times in the school year, and we have programs at the middle school and the high school as well. And we offer education for adults as well to learn how to garden, to farm, to grow organically with regenerative, agroecological gardening and farming techniques. And that's it for my presentation.
Which is myself, the program college director, Diane, and our club growth director, Mohan, sit down and we really discuss the health of the district. And we discuss who in the district has really helped us out. And you'll see a little later that we have 5 awards to our members that have helped us throughout the year. Before I go there though, I do want to share a little bit of a recap of what all you have been doing throughout this year. So far this year, we've had 516 level completions. We had 46 triple crowns, which means that you have completed at least 3 levels in this year to get a triple crown. Some have done 4, 5, 6, and 7 levels. We have had 45 level 5 completions. If your name was up there because you completed a level 5, stand up. You deserve a round of applause. For those who have not picked up, you do have your level 5 pins back for you to pick up at the end of today's ceremony. We have had 20 mentors. 20 of our members have completed our mentorship. If you're here and completed that, please stand up. And honor them, we will have 3 DTM awards this year. And just so you know, yes, building clubs is all about the Distinguished Club Program. And some of you do it so well, and some of you are just getting started. Well, we did have 20 clubs that have met their DCP goals and are short 1, 2, or 3 members to become a distinguished club. They're just on that cusp. You have a little over a month, so let's promote some membership. The area directors and division directors have been asked to get out there and help you to get over that to become a DCP for the year. On the other hand, we have had 12 clubs that have met the membership goals. So they have either added 20 or they have brought up 3 members since July of last year. Those people need to get some pathway education points together. And we're finding that some of them are not going through the 2-step process. So if you know of something in your club and you're having trouble getting them, please reach out to your area and division directors. We'll get someone there to educate you to make sure that you're getting credit for all the hard work that you're doing this year. I do want to start off by acknowledging our distinguished Toastmasters. As you know, each year, we like to honor them. These people are receiving the highest pathways education level possible. So I'd like to ask, first of all, John Murray to come up to receive his DTM pin. When Steve Lanning took this over 2 years ago, Steve? It was Steve. He has built this team along with the help of our club growth director and a number of other people. If you are a club coach and out there helping our clubs, please stand up. To have normally what we call the division director, the area director, and the Toastmaster of the Year award. This year, we had a difficult time deciding who to give those awards to. We spent some time thinking about it, and we've decided as a district that we want to also start a trend of 2 new awards. We want to start a trend to give appreciation award for somebody who has supported the club quality team to help us grow club quality both at the clubs that are existing and new clubs. Mohan and Diane, can you join me, please? The recipient of our club quality appreciation is not only a division director, a club coach, a mentor, and a sponsor to a new club, but when Mohan needed assistance setting up demo meetings, she raised her hand. Please give a warm round of applause to Liz Keeling. Liz? with every educational session she does, and she does a lot of them. Stephanie Roy, in appreciation for your support to program quality, please accept this award. Now I'd like to do the area director of the year. Although this next awards winner, his passion is really with communication, portion of Toastmaster, you would never know it. He has been an area director for 2 years. This year he not only supported his division and his division director, but also stepped up when needed and gave support to all of his fellow area directors. This year's Area Director of the Year award goes to Richard May.
It's an HR video. It's not going to get again.
For division director, the trio unanimously chose this division director because of her commitment to her team and to the district. She never said no. She was always prepared when called upon and did a tremendous job helping us grow. This year's division director award goes to Selena Turgeon. The expression, when the tough get going, when the going gets tough, the tough get going, is a great description of who we chose for Toastmaster of the Year. He is a pathway advocate and has shown this by creating resources for his club and for others' clubs. When called upon, he is more than welcome to go into a club and help them out with any form of pathways. He is a club mentor and recently put together a cock training for 2 of our new clubs. During the past year, he has reached out and assisted Betty Ann, not both because it's Betty Ann, Mohan, and myself. It is a pleasure to award this year's Toastmaster of the Year here to Paul Horvath. It is a pleasure that I am up here and have been able to award all these awards. I cannot tell you how much stronger each of you have made this district. If your name appeared on the Hall of Fame at some point here tonight, please stand up and give yourselves a warm welcome of applause. I did say that if you did a level 5 completion, you should have an envelope here with your pins. For the 2 clubs that are here that had training excellence, your ribbons for your banners are also here. Thank you all again.
Congratulations.